What's up, ocean dwellers out there? I'm Cope.
I'm Matt.
And today we got a bad movie review on Killer Mermaid. I'm just gonna come straight out with it. This movie fucking sucked. This movie was horrible. This movie was beyond all. It was boring.
Talk about a bad movie.
No, this was just so boring. I can't even describe how immensely boring this movie was, that we were just sitting there, just sitting there, and counting. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes.
It went in 6 minutes in.
Oh my god. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. You start. Go ahead.
6 minute long opening scene of nothing until man shows up. Two people about to have sex, because that's what's in every one of these movies apparently. Man kills girl. Man jumps in water.
No. He dragged her off. The other guy. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Sorry, let me fix that.
The other guy jumped in the water.
The other guy jumped in the water. The man who killed the girl dragged her off.
So what happened?
33 seconds in, there was no.
Because what happened was they spent about 3 or 4 minutes on an introduction of these two people on like a vacation. So they're taking pictures and video of like what they're doing, and they're having a great time, and it's also rolling the credits. So it's the intro, but it was like 4 minutes long, and then they end up dying like a minute after that. The second the movie actually starts, they're dead. And it was like such a waste. Like, oh my god, really? You just watch these characters for no reason.
And not by a mermaid.
And not by a mermaid. So this is where our counter started, where it was the 6 minute intro, and now we're 15 minutes into the movie, and we're like, nothing's happened yet.
This movie's boring.
So what happens is just like, it's just like the first half hour just seems like a romantic movie.
Yeah, romantic vacation.
Yeah, like it was so bad, and we're watching it, and we don't care about these people. We're supposed to care about these people. So okay,
they didn't give you enough to care about these people.
Our minds like all jumbled here with this movie. Okay. So there's these two girls who are best friends. They've been best friends since like before college. And they had another friend, a guy, Alex, who we're going to call Cesaro. That's going to be his code name for this review. So it's Cesaro. And they all went to college together, but two of the girls, Christy? Chrissa.
Chrissa?
We'll let you know.
Chrissa, I believe?
Chrissa? Her and Cesaro dated in college. And they broke up, and it's been 7 years apparently. And now he invited them to go on like vacation with him, and he introduces them to his fiance. What's Yasmin?
Yes.
Yasmin. So, you know, of course the girl Chrissa, we're going to find out now.
Kelly.
Oh, okay, I knew it was a K.
Kelly and Lucy.
Kelly and Lucy. So Kelly still has feelings for Cesaro. So once she meets the fiance, it's like this little jealousy thing going on. Then they have just like drunk dancing. Out of nowhere, then Cesaro kisses Kelly.
No.
Yes.
No, Kelly's the other one.
What do you mean Kelly's the other one?
Lucy's the one he kissed.
Lucy's the one that he dated the whole time?
Yes.
God damn it! Fuck you! You made me fuck up this whole thing now. Cesaro dated Lucy.
Yes.
So Lucy meets the fiance and gets jealous.
Yes.
And then there's the drunk dancing.
The very awkward drunk dancing that looked something like this.
Yes. And then Cesaro kisses Lucy, which is pretty much never touched on again.
Nope.
Except for Kelly
like
getting annoyed.
5 seconds and that was it.
Right. So then we get, they're all talking, and it's still just this boring, like romantic love triangle thing going on, and it's so fucking boring.
And then They go on a little boat ride to the middle of the ocean. First off, you find out Kelly does not like the water. Well,
Yes.
She doesn't like to swim.
She doesn't like to swim because her brother drowned when she was 10 years old.
Her not want to swim. But okay.
Well, it traumatized her.
Sure. You're an adult now. Get over it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This movie pissed me off. And they're in the water. Kelly's just chilling on the boat. All of a sudden, Yasmin goes, "Something touched my leg." Out pops some random dude.
Bob.
His real name was Bob.
Bob something,
Bob.
but they call him Bob.
Boban.
Boban. We're gonna call him Bob.
That's what they called him.
Bob. Okay.
Like Bobby De Niro.
Yes.
I've never heard him
So
ever
referred to as Bobby De Niro. So, okay, Bob now. So now Bob, Cesaro, Kelly,
and
Lucy, and Yasmin are all talking about what they're gonna do tomorrow.
At this place.
And then this fine fellow shows up.
You don't want to go there. That island is drenched in blood.
Captain Ahab shows up.
Captain Ahab shows up. That's what we're gonna call. His code name is Captain Ahab in this movie.
His real name was Nico.
Nico Bellic.
But he's
so his interest in here, his scene that came in, it reminded me of this scene.
Dark-haired guy run by, Chief. Dark-haired guy go in the water. Shark in the water.
And that's exactly the feeling I got from it. So he warns them not to go to this like mysterious haunted island that was a prison.
But you know, it's a movie.
So they went anyway.
Let's go. And that's where we were like, oh, here we go.
Finally, we're going to see some action.
It's going to get interesting.
Note, we're now 35 minutes into the movie.
And the movie still sucks.
And there's no action. There's no ounce of a plot. It's been a romantic love triangle this whole time so far. This movie's so friggin' boring. So we're like, alright, we got to see the Mermaid soon. We're already over a half hour into this movie.
Yeah.
So they now get onto the island and they start exploring it. And they meet the Gordon's Fisherman. That's his code name for this movie. He's the Gordon's Fisherman. And he is dumping like body parts into a well. So that's when they start freaking out. Now he knows they're there. Well, first he shoots their little inflatable boat.
Yes, which
so
looked
it
like
sinks.
He shot up to the sky.
And it sinks, and they're trapped on the island. He starts hunting them down. And so begins the most ridiculous, slow chase scenes I've ever seen in my life. And confusing. He's going after one group.
And all of a sudden he's at the other group.
And then he's at the other group.
This guy's a magician. He can teleport.
He's the Gordon's Fisherman. So, as of right now, this action of the slow chasing, that's now 40 minutes into the movie. We made sure we marked it because it's 40 minutes, which means the prior 40 minutes have sucked ass. So he's now chasing them, and Bob confronts him, and he grabs his rifle. Yes!
Yeah,
Go,
he's
Bob.
got his gun.
You fuck up the Gordon's Fisherman.
He goes to shoot, and what happens?
It doesn't shoot. So, of course, what would you do with a big rifle that doesn't shoot? You would obviously hit him with it. And somehow, this happens?
Oh my god, oh my god.
Okay. it just made no sense. It was practically in slow motion. Yeah. They were moving so goddamn slow.
It was the worst fight scene.
He misses, and then he just gets cut. And this guy's old. You gonna tell me he's able to outmaneuver a young guy?
Yeah.
It just made no sense to me. Cesaro ends up going into what ends up being the lair of the mermaid.
And that's where we got excited.
And we're at 53 minutes now. We're almost at an hour. And we're going, yes. He's in the lair. He's going to die. We're going to see the mermaid finally. And all he does...
I'm here.
And it cuts to Bob again. And it was such a fucking tease. We thought we had it,
but we didn't.
So the movie continued to suck.
And that's where I wondered to myself, Is this movie Killer Mermaid or Killer Fisherman? Because mostly people dying was by
The Gordon's Fisherman.
So you tell me.
Because that brings me to my next point, which is Yasmin. They find... No, it's honestly, it's not even funny. It shouldn't be funny. This is fucking sad. They find his little lair, and it's Bob, Yasmin, Kelly, and Lucy. And they find his lair, and now they're ready to leave. So they run out. So Bob runs out, Lucy runs out, Kelly runs out, and Yasmin runs out. And the camera catches her foot hit the floor because she's running out. And then the very next scene is boom! That. So you tell me how the fuck that even worked. She steps and all of a sudden it's in a neck.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over. It's in a neck.
And he chopped her
So
into pieces.
that too. But like, I need to know how that death scene worked because it didn't make sense to me. But then it's followed up by a really gory scene of him hacking her head off, and you don't see it completely. Like they only show it from behind, but like he's really going to work on that shit.
Yeah, like
they showed the scene.
Like he was. I understand you're chopping up the head, but it also looked like he was chopping up the rest of the body at the same time.
His angle was a little off. Like if the head's here, he was like,
let's get some of this arm, and I'll go back to the head.
It was really like that. I was actually surprised because not only was it kind of gory, but they pulled it off. Like
they pulled it off nice.
And then he walks out like a fucking boss
with a head in his hand.
He walks out with a head in his hand.
Where is she? Where is she? He goes.
Tosses it to her. Doesn't say a single word. He tosses it at them
and just walks
away. Back inside like a fucking boss. He's like, yeah.
Which made no sense to me either.
He's like, yeah, here's your bitch.
Oh, here's your bitch. I'm not gonna kill you guys right now because that's the story.
So, as we continue through Killer Fisherman,
we make it in another hour and 2 minutes.
So it's now at the hour and 2 minute mark.
Mind you, this movie is an hour and 45.
Is it that long?
I think so.
I thought it was like an hour 30.
Maybe an hour 30.
So as he's looking up, so it's now an hour and 2 minutes into the movie, and we finally see the mermaid.
Yeah, hour and 35.
Hour 35. We finally see the mermaid almost at the end of the freaking movie. We finally see it.
And she looked like a beautiful mermaid.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden...
she turned into this! You see it?
Yeah.
You see what she turned into?
There was no reason for that. There wasn't.
So, now this poor guy Bob, I mean, I feel so fucking bad for him. He gets his knee sliced in that disgusting scene earlier. Then he fights the Gordon's Fisherman again. Gets the hook in his shoulder.
Yep. Then he's fighting.
And makes a very poor life decision here. And blocks the hook with his hand. Yeah! So now he has a hole in his hand. This poor guy got destroyed by Gordon's Fisherman.
Kelly's friend dies.
Lucy dies.
Didn't expect it.
With no reason. The mermaid...
We should show that scene.
Oh yeah, we will. Because here you'll see that the mermaid... puts her hand out and apparently grabs Lucy and she flies into the fucking water. So because Kelly is still afraid to swim, still traumatized by her brother, she just lets her friend die. Her best friend of like a decade. She just watches her fucking die. So now we get to, it's down to just Bob and Kelly. And Bob kills the Gordon's Fisherman.
Mermaid sings a song.
Mermaid sings a song, and the Gordon's Fisherman wakes up. And I was a little confused at that because I couldn't tell if he was already dead and she brought him back with the song.
Or he just wasn't fully dead.
Or he wasn't fully dead and he just woke up at that point. And that was really confusing. But I didn't really fucking care because this movie sucked.
Then they had that little chase scene through the tunnel where he had a flashlight.
No, a flashlight was shined on him.
Yes, which that means he was directly behind them and could not catch up.
Yep. So now they make it to this door. and it's locked, so they just keep banging on it, which in actuality would do nothing because it's locked. But of course, in movie logic,
Captain
they banged
Ahab
on it
was
long
there.
enough, and Captain Ahab, hey,
He's here to
he opens
save
the
the
door
day.
and rescues them. You find out that the girl in the beginning of the movie, who we spent the 4-minute introduction with, who
Is his
the
daughter.
Gordon's fisherman killed, was his daughter, and he came looking for her.
And the mermaid is Gordon's lover.
Yes, the Gordon's fisherman is in love with the mermaid. You find out that Captain Ahab and the Gordon's fisherman used to be very close friends, and they discovered the mermaid together. But Captain Ahab
Knew it was,
left
Yes.
and thought that the Gordon's fisherman was killed by her.
Yes.
Instead, they fell in love. So now he chooses to give at least, it's clocked in at about 6 minutes of pure exposition. Right in the middle
Of the ocean.
of the ocean. Because he's
tired.
rowing, and he stops and goes,
We are pretty close. But I need a rest.
and he proceeds to tell them the whole fucking story. And then right at the end of the story, they start ruining it.
Now we're about maybe a half an inch away from land.
We're about, if you really want to get accurate, we're probably about 3 feet
I could have
from the
jumped.
dock. You
from
could
the
jump
boat
from
to
their
the
boat
dock.
to the dock.
And he goes, "Oh, she's here."
Yeah, she swam all the fucking way out.
I didn't know where he saw her, but he knew.
But she was there. And she starts attacking, and she takes one of the oars away, and then she does this wicked...
Before that, she slaps Bob.
She just goes out of the water.
For just, I don't know if it was supposed to look like a scratch or something.
Or
but-
something. It just looked like a slap.
And then she
does this
goes
wicked...
under, and then she comes and does this fucking
Wicked. She like this mid-air barrel
crazy
roll spiral
CGI
corkscrew
barrel
type
roll.
of thing that ends up flipping Bob into the water with her. And once again, Kelly is too scared to go into the water, and she watches Bob die. I mean, you would think at this point they've thrown so many opportunities at her to
Bob.
face her fears that I honestly thought she was going to do it. It's like, okay, her best friend. Bro, it's her best friend of like a decade. She's going to face her fears and save her. No, she's dead. Okay, but this guy, like, she likes this guy. Like, you can tell, like, in movie standards and movie logic, they're going to wind up being at the end together, they're going to fall in love, and they're going to end the movie as the survivors. She fucking watches him die, too. I'm like, she's not going to save fucking nobody in this movie. She's out for her damn self. So now, Kelly and Captain Ahab are on dry land, and the mermaid comes up
Which I don't understand.
and starts having an ugly fight with Kelly.
Yes.
Just, like, flopping on top of her.
Yes, world's ugliest mermaid.
So what's the perfect way to catch a mermaid?
Well,
A net.
Yeah.
So Captain Ahab throws a net on her. She turns from her monster self back to her human self and
just
rips the
rips
net
the
off
net, yep.
and starts crawling back towards the water. Now Captain Ahab had this whole thing about the mermaid. He knew everything about the mermaid. Everything. And yet as she's going back towards the water, she sings her little song and he falls into her trance. But Kelly slaps the shit out of him.
Nico, no, come on, stop it. Listen to me, please.
And snaps him out of it, and he stabs her.
And then guess what happens?
You see, this pissed me off. Because now, the island they were on
The
was
dark
in the
magician
middle...
shows up.
The Gordon magician. The island they were on, where the Gordon's fisherman and the mermaid originally were, was out in the middle of the water. They had to go through like a series of underground tunnels. Then they got in Captain Ahab's boat, and he rowed them all the way back. I can understand the mermaid getting there, because she can swim in the water. Right after he stabs the mermaid, and it's as if he walked on stage, the Gordon's fisherman just walks up to him. But the Gordon's fisherman
just
shows
walked
up.
on
He just
screen.
walks up. right on screen with his hook. And I'm like, how the fuck did he get there so fast? I don't understand it. So he drops the hook and he goes to the mermaid because he's in love with her and she's dying and she's singing, she's whimpering her last bit of the song and there's nothing left.
You hear, well, that's not right. And we look more puzzled than could be in the movie at first. Then all of a sudden, her sisters are out for revenge.
And they pan to the ocean. There's just a bunch, countless mermaids just swimming towards them. And he grabs the hook, Captain Ahab, and he's standing next to Kelly. And she goes, I'm not ready to die today. And he goes, there's a fate worse than death. Meaning Gordon's fisherman being a slave to the mermaid. And he goes, but if we have to die, we will kill these monsters. Starting with you. And he turns to the Gordon's fisherman and he swings the hook down right into his fucking head. And the movie ends. So I guess you could say the movie ended on a cliffhanger. I guess. I pray to God they don't make a second one.
So, our last note of this story. This movie sucks.
Big time.
And it's all caps.
So, I mean, compared to the three-headed shark attack, we had so much, excuse me.
Excitement.
Sorry. So much more material and so much more footage to show and everything. I mean, that was a half-hour episode. And this one is just, there's just nothing. We kind of dragged this out more than we had to, but like there was nothing. The first 40 minutes was just like a romantic drama of a love triangle. Nothing else happened. Then you get the other, another half hour of just the Gordon's fishermen magically appearing and killing people. And then finally you get the mermaid, and it's just the dumbest sequences ever. I mean, there was just nothing. No redeeming qualities about this movie. It was so boring. It dragged on. It was slow. Did I mention it was boring? I mean, we actually sat here with like these blank stares on our faces saying, should we even finish this movie? Like, we know we said in Three-Headed Shark Attack that our movie next week will be Killer Mermaid, but should we just say fuck that and just do a different movie because this movie sucks so bad? So, Matt, what is your final grade for this movie?
F-.
Okay. F-.
I'm not gonna, because I'd go with a Z if I can.
So my final grade for this movie is an F. Do not ever click this movie if you ever come across it on Netflix or Hulu or anywhere else that this hellspawn could possibly be. It's an F. It's a fucking shitty movie. It's boring. It's miserable. Don't even touch it or look at it. You know, I feel better after venting.
Yeah.
I feel good now. Okay.
Fuck.
So,
sucked.
That was our bad movie review on Killer Gordon's Fisherman / Killer Mermaid.
It's not Killer Mermaid.
And
it's Killer Fisherman.
Tune in next week when we will have a bad movie review on 009-1.
I don't know why it's called that. We shall find out.
So as always, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely give us some comments. Let us know what we can do better or different or what you'd be more interested in. Drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more of these bad movie reviews. And even if you don't enjoy the movies themselves that we're talking about, if you even just enjoy our torture and misery of watching these.
Give us a movie.
Give us a movie, of course. Give us more movies. Give us the worst movies you can possibly find, and we will watch them.
For you.
And we will cry and be depressed for your enjoyment. And until next week, I'm Cope.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you then. Later.